A restitution hearing was held to determine the financial compensation owed to those impacted by Kane Velasquez's attempted murder case. Velasquez's attorney Renee Hessling contends that the victims are seeking an exorbitant amount of money, including a $1 million claim related to their daycare business. Hessling argued that these demands are unreasonable and indicated plans to litigate the matter further. The judge has scheduled the next restitution hearing for June 3rd. In a related development, Velasquez's family has filed a civil lawsuit against Goulart and the daycare owned by Goulart's mother, where the acts against Kane's child were said to have occurred. Goulart, who remains free on bail, is facing separate felony charges, with his next court appearance also expected in June.
But he did what every father would have done. If you're not a father, you do not understand the murderous rage you would have if some man melted your baby. You don't understand. You would see red in a way that no one can describe to you unless you're a parent. That anger is, if there's ever a plea for temporary insanity, that's the plea. Ever a person who could justifiably say, I was temporarily insane. It's a father that's chasing after someone, especially a man who melted your boy.
Wow. Yeah.
Everybody understands it. Everybody understands it. He should have never gone to jail. He's not a threat to society. The judge's hands were tied. He had to make a sentence. And this is I think the minimum amount. They were trying to give him 30 years. Yeah, for attempted murder, because he was just shooting at this guy. And obviously when you're driving and shooting, you could miss him and kill a bystander. It's very dangerous. But also, the guy was in a murderous rage.
Kevin Holland versus Vicente Luque in the works for UFC 316 June 7th. That's in Newark, New Jersey. Kevin Holland's fresh off a victory over Gunnar Nelson. He looked good dropping down to 170 in that one. And Luque looked great in his last fight as well. He choked out Temba Garimbo. Luque was the underdog, but he choked him out in 52 seconds. UFC 316 is headlined by O'Malley versus Murad Dvalishvili for the bantamweight title. Pena versus Harrison is the co-main event for the bantamweight title on the women's side. And Ultimate Moicano thinks that Michael Chandler waiting around for Conor McGregor so long ruined his career. It may not have helped, but regardless, he probably would have lost all these fights anyway to Gaethje, Poirier, Oliveira, and Pimblett.
A lot of people gonna trash on me because I'm trashing Michael Chandler, but in reality, McGregor destroy his career, brother. I think that was McGregor's fault, brother.
Yeah.
2 years without fighting, waiting, brother.
Plus at his age,
Yeah, but you cannot count on McGregor, He's talking about being president, He's president of Ireland, bro. Imagine that.
Armin Tsarukyan and Dan Hooker have a beef, and it's continuing. They could fight each other maybe at some point, but right now they're number 1 and 6 in the division, so it probably wouldn't happen at the moment, but they continue to beef.
Did something happen that we don't know between you and Dan Hooker?
No, we're just talking.
Just that's it.
Yeah.
But
because I know when we're gonna be in one room, he's gonna shut up and just listen me. Because I know these people, they just can talk on the internet, but when they one-on-one, they scared.
How do you see a fight between you and Dan Hooker going?
I'm going there to play, just easy money. I don't know.
Oh my God, I love it.
All right.
But it's a easy money. But if I beat him, it no makes sense fight for me.
Yeah.
I don't need money right now. I need belt. If I beat him, people say you beat a top 10 or I don't know what's his number. It's no make sense fight. He's not contender. He never beat a good fighters. He never be on the top 5. So it's.
Dan Ige, fresh off a win over Sean Woodson, looking to fight Patricio Pitbull next. Pitbull has also expressed interest in that fight. Maybe International Fight Week is a possibility. Styles make fights and you throw them together. It'll probably be an entertaining striking war. They'll probably rock each other a couple times in an interesting clash on the feet.
I like that Pitbull fight. Pitbull is an absolute legend. Not from a ranking perspective, because I don't believe he's ranked after the ranking update and whatnot, but just as a fight for my legacy, a big name, and Styles, man. Styles make fights, and him and I are very similar in stature, and it'd be a freaking war. So.
Ian Gary felt disrespected. He didn't get called to possibly replace Shavkat Rakhmonov in the Bilal Muhammad fight. He also felt more irritation that they gave the title shot to Jack Della Maddalena.
To not even get a call, I felt was disrespectful. And then I was seething just seething when I found out that they're going to give it to a guy who's been injured and hasn't fought in a year. So for me, it was more just a respect thing. I know what Jack has done, and I know what Jack can do in this division. It's not against Jack per se, but the guy hasn't competed or fought in a year and has been battling an injury. I would have been less annoyed if they've given it to Joaquin Buckley. Does that make sense? Because he's been active, he's been competing, and he's been winning. So it's more that thing of like, it just irritated me that I didn't even get the respect of a call.
That being said, Jack Della Maddalena is ranked higher than Ian Gary, and he's also on a 17-fight win streak, and Gary is on a 1-fight losing streak. Australian boxer Tim Tszyu was really happy that Volk won the belt. Why? Because when I lost my last fight, he gave me nothing but support. He's a true ambassador for not giving up and getting back up when being knocked down. The message Volk sent him when he lost was, hey brother, I'm sure you're disappointed right now, but you're still a beast and still got time. I know you'll be back. You never shy away from a challenge, and that mindset is why you'll bounce back better than ever. We wouldn't be half the men we are if we didn't challenge ourselves every day. Like I said, you still got plenty of time in this sport to work on that what is needed. Enjoy the rest and get back at it.
I'm a fan of the sport, so watching pay-per-views and watching featherweights, I would always say, man, I can't wait to make that walk, and I think that in the near future it's going to happen very soon, so I'm excited. All credit to Moksar. He accepted the fight and I accepted. Obviously he's number 4, so it really didn't make sense. I think he's going to fight for the title next, but if I'm looking at it very, very objectively, he was supposed to fight, or his last fight was Aljamain. And I think he was supposed to fight Brian Ortega. So I think, those are 2 names that are very exciting for the fans. They're great fighters, and I'd love to knock them off, and take their ranking.
Benoit Saint-Denis versus Joel Alvarez opening odds. Benoit Saint-Denis, almost a 3-1 favorite. Joel Alvarez, a plus 240 underdog. I think a lot of people are going to bet on Alvarez. I think they were going to bet on Alvarez even if he was the favorite. So at these odds, I think a lot more people are going to bet on Joel Alvarez because he's so dangerous in the striking, more dangerous than Saint-Denis, and more dangerous on the ground than Saint-Denis as well. Saint-Denis brings good wrestling to the table, but if he takes Alvarez down, he's going to be fighting off a lot of submission even while Alvarez is fighting off his back. Probably the biggest strength that Benoit has that he's used in a lot of his fights is his toughness on top of his relentless pace and pressure and cardio. So if the fight goes to distance, he has a decent chance of possibly taking over as the fight progresses, as he's done in a lot of fights. But Alvarez is so dangerous that it may not reach that stage.
Counting down the days right now, going through the grind. Camp's going well. Looking forward to getting in there, going to Montreal. Montreal is so hyped, the fight town, and to be able to go there and perform in front of the Canadians, the Montreal fans, it's such a blessing. She's been a champ, to go in there and to be able to perform and hopefully get that finish and then keep boosting myself up to becoming number 1 in the world.
When you call yourself a Mickey Mouse, so I always thought that he was a Mickey Mouse. I'm like, bro, how the fuck you calling yourself a Mickey Mouse? Minnie Mouse, Minnie Mouse.